So now we're going to look at number 6 on the solve by substitution notes on 9.2. So for this one, we have 2x minus 3y equals -4, and x plus 3y equals 7. And notice none of the variables are by itself. So the y is not by itself or the x. And so if that's the case, we actually have to do the first step, which we've been skipping. And the first step is solve one of the equations for a variable. So all the other ones we did before, that was already true. The variable was by itself. This one is not. And so the easiest way is I want to look for a variable that is by itself and does not have a number written in front of it. Okay, so if I see I have 2x, it has a 2 in front of it. I have -3y, that has a -3. I have x, which is by itself, so I like that, and I have 3y, and so y has a 3. And I want to pick the variable that's by itself, which is the x. And what I want to do is I want to solve that for x. So I want to get x by itself. So to do that, I need to move the 3y to the other side. And then because it's being added, I would subtract it. These cancel, and I get x equals 7 minus 3y. And remember, not like terms, you cannot combine them. Once I do that, now I have that lone variable. I'm going to take this and plug it into the other equation. So I have to use the other equation, 2x minus 3y equals -4. I'm going to replace the x now, because I have x by itself, with what it's equal to. So I'm going to have 2 times, and instead of x, I'm going to write 7 minus 3y minus 3y equals -4. Then I'm going to solve it. So the first thing again is I have to distribute the 2. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times minus 3y is minus 6y. Then I still have this minus 3y. I'm not distributing to that because it's not in the parentheses, equals -4. Combine like terms. So I have 14 minus 9y equals -4. Okay, and then we solve it. Subtract 14 because it's positive. -9y equals -4 minus 14, -18. Divide both sides by -9, and y equals +2. Because a negative divided by a negative is positive. So we found y. I have to find x. So I need to take this y and plug it into one of the equations. You can plug it into the one that we already solved. So we have x equals 7 minus 3y. And I can plug this in for this y to get x. So I'm going to replace the y with 2. So I have x equals 7 minus 3 times 2. X equals 7 minus 6. So x equals 1. Okay, and then my solution is 1, 2. And again, we can always check it by plugging them into the original equations. So to check, and always use the original. My 2 originals were 2x minus 3y equals -4, and x plus 3y equals 7. So we have 2 times 1 minus 3 times 2 equals -4. 2 minus 6 equals -4. And 2 minus 6 is -4. So it works. For this one, we have x is 1 and y is 2. So I'm going to plug that in. 1 plus 6 equals 7, and we have 7 equals 7. So that is an example of solving by substitution where we actually had to, it's called isolate or get the variable by itself.